This is the Sim Pit. I'm your host, Sean Cole, and welcome to today's edition of the Pit Stop, where you are the real star of today's show. And happy hump day, happy Wednesday to everybody out there, and hope you're having a good week so far. We are here to talk about our favorite thing, and that being sim racing and the various different news coming to us from around the world in the wonderful world of sim racing. So what is going on out there? And I think today's going to be one of those shorter shows. I'm going to guess 18 minutes for today's show instead of the traditional 30 that we've seen for a long time. But that's good. I got so much to do. The sooner I get out of here, the more I get back to reviewing products and interviews and all the other good stuff we do. So what is going on? Forza, yesterday they had another Tuesday drive with John Iwana. You can find that, another one of those watch mixers is where you're going to find it, or on Twitch. You can find that via the Forza Motorsport Twitter page. Also, they are plugging, it's the home straight in the 911 GT3 RS Online Cup. Watch the final race now live from Gamescom 2018, and a little link there to Twitch. If we go to Twitch, we see it sitting here waiting, and it looks like that's going to happen. Well, it said 6 a.m. to 10 a.m. Pacific Daylight Times, PDT. Anyway, so that might have just finished streaming, and I see a lot of chats and comments going on. So my guess is that just finished up, so you can go back and watch the replay, but you're going to find that at ESL Racing, ESL_Racing on Twitch, and that is the 911 GT3 RS Challenge live from Gamescom, or I guess it would be a replay now of the live feed from Gamescom. So that's one of the things. Gamescom is all over the news again. So here we got Formula One. Look at that. We got a beautiful F1 car sitting there just for people to do. You can see the queue to get in and drive the sims here. Cool graphics up on the wall. That is the same image. These are some guys doing a live stream from there as well. This is the Lee Mather and Aaron Rook 91 at Gamescom 911. You'll find that via Instagram, actually. In addition to that, we've got, get ready, you can pre-download F1 Tower. Find out when you can pre-download. So it's getting close because the 24th, we're 2 days away. Here's a shot of the people lined up running. They got Fanatic wheels, it looks like. Let's get a better picture. That looks like some CSL wheels, if I'm not mistaken. Club Sport Elite wheel with a McLaren rim. Is that what I'm seeing there? But you can see all these play seats. I see, what 10 rigs? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. A girl getting in that one. 9 rigs, it looks like, perhaps. Look at this queue packed. Trying to get in just to try it out and test it out. This is all at Gamescom. Cody's blog, little information. So this is at thecodemasters.com, or I should say blog.codemasters.com. And getting ready to race with F1 2018's multiplayer super license. So we are going to have different license levels for online competition, including the super license. Can you tell us what the super license is? At its heart, the super license means keep track of 3 things relating to multiplayer game: your overall skill, cleanliness, and your racecraft, and your time invested. That's 4 things, by the way. Improvement in each of these areas is something that players can aspire to achieve, and also serves as a point of comparison against any other drivers you encounter online. So basically, it's a skill-based rating system that could affect who you race against, perhaps, in multiplayer, and certainly keep the ranking system of who the who's who in F1 2018 is. Let's see here, just looking at some of your guys' comments here. David Hodsell says he's a very sad person. He bought the game just to see how accurate they've made the tracks this year. I applaud that, though. That's one of the things we are always testing our sims on. Tater burners. I'm not sure what that is. Oh, people from Idaho, I'm guessing, is what you're talking about. Thrustmaster at Gamescom as well. Actually, this is the WRC Hyundai competition that we saw there yesterday. We saw John Armstrong of WED winning the I-20 coupe car. But here's the Thrustmaster staff. I know Eric. That's Eric Manjimba. I almost didn't recognize him at first. I know Eric. He's a great guy. I've known him for probably 10 years now. He was there live at the big event. No surprise, he works out of the France offices, the main headquarters for Thrustmaster. Here's the whole party, the whole gang, and everybody having a little photo op during that WRC competition that we, again, talked about the other day. And then we also have a video here of taking a look at the finals, which actually dates back to the 20th. So this is building up to the event. So there you go. Yeah, Eric's a really, really awesome guy. Let's see, what else? Gamescom! Here we go again, Gamescom! We have the 505 Games. That is the producer behind the developer, Assetto Corsa, or Kunos, I should say. But there they are with their games there at Gamescom, of course, including Assetto Corsa Competizione. So some cool photos of what's going on there, and we I believe Amir is going to be heading over to Gamescom, so we might actually be able to get some footage from one of our in-house pit crew to see what's going on there and get the inside scoop instead of all the promo stuff from the actual vendors who are there. So that should be some extended coverage. Hopefully we'll have that. Big announcement out of iRacing regarding Global Sim Racing Channel, and they are adding this to part of their eSport network family. So they've talked about the iRacing eSport network is expanding with the addition of GSRC channel. Welcome to the family. You can catch their broadcast at youtube.com /iRacing eSports. You have a whole thing. Network is their new destination or place to be. And we are going to talk about one of the leagues that is going to now be featured as part of that as well. A league that we've talked about in the past for quite a long time. Yes, they did, but they're adding Global Sim Racing Channel to it, and we're going to talk about some of the lineup that's going to be on there as well. Dakar is also at Gamescom. Dakar is there, so they've got some setups here. Ooh, that is not exactly how I want to test a game. Nice wheel. Why is the keyboard between the wheel and the monitor if I'm going to play a desktop single screen variation of it? But there you go. There's some stand-up versions using the controller. This looks like more of a private room, but they are saying that's at Gamescom, so there you go. Those fancy colored Logitech wheels, and they're powered by Samsung. They've got the curved monitor, they say. Is that what they're using here? I don't see that, but I thought I saw. Yeah, try out the super wide curved gaming monitor by Samsung. That doesn't look like any kind of ultra wide, and that's not even a Samsung. That looks like an Asus, if I'm not mistaken. That looks like the same. I don't see ultra wide. Anyway, you can check it out. Tell me, did they really have it on an ultra wide in Hall 9 at Gamescom 2018? Nice IKEA table rig. Exactly. Ooh, Gator Rush, the first free update coming to the crew too. It looks like we have some kind of a hovercraft. That didn't look very realistic right there, but there you go. It's now the Gator Rush is coming September 26th. So if you have crew, this will be free DLC, and having a blast with the hovercraft races with the Gator Rush discipline is what they're calling that features. That's a great question, T-Bone. T-Bone asks if anyone knows if Burnout Paradise Remastered has PC support for wheels. He's getting conflicting information online. I do not have an answer for you, T-Bone, but perhaps somebody else here knows or has already played and experienced it. So I have not checked out remastered version of Burnout Paradise yet. We mentioned this yesterday. I had showed the little trophy of Forza Horizon 4 winning best racing game. GT Planet has an article here saying how that was kind of a slam, perhaps, to F1 2018. But fear not, F1 2018 had 2 more shots at winning an award out of Gamescom, one of them being Best Simulation. And as it turns out, they did not. They actually lost that category as well. And it turns out that Farm Sim 2019 took Best Simulation. And FIFA 19 took Best Sports Title, the two other categories that F1 2018 had a shot at. So, unfortunately, F1 2018 is going home empty-handed. Other than, well, we saw the lines. I don't know if you can call that going home empty-handed. That I'd say they had a successful Gamescom with or without award. What else we got? FA Racing is showing some things. They're showing more of the story behind the Pro Draft. So this is going back to the whole Formula 1 draft, and I'm not going to turn this into a rant today, but you know my thoughts on the whole Formula 1 draft. And, you know, look at all the things they had these guys do to then only pick a handful of them. But so be it. That's the way it played out. Episode 2 is going to be aired August 22nd. That's today, 2000 BST. I don't know what that standard. I don't know what BST is. Live on the official F1 Facebook page is where you're going to find it. They're going to show off physical and mental challenges, the karting track showdown that we saw, and the journey to a dream job with an official F1 eSport team. Dan DiMaggio is hopping onto the Farm Sim bandwagon. I played it, or did I play 19? I played 18. Let's see. They're also at FA Racing. They're talking about the various different eSport competitions that they're competing in at Gamescom. So here's the 911 GT3 RS challenge car that we saw from, you know, this 911 GT3 RS challenge, the ESL event, and that's what we are going to see G2 Lage driving in that race. And yeah, that's what they're talking about there. Logitech there at Gamescom. You can probably meet these guys if you go there. Go get a picture of you with G2 Lage. This guy's one of the best sim racers on earth. So, British Standard Time. Thank you, Pizza. Pizza Racer says BST is British Standard Time. So many time zones and so little time. I mentioned GSRC and the iRacing eSport Network. One of the features, one of the leagues that will be featured regularly on GSRC via the iRacing eSport Network is our good buddies at the Lionheart IndyCar Series. So you can see right now, I'm at the iRacing eSport Network. We are 10 hours, and I and one other people are already waiting for it. But the Lionheart IndyCar Series, round 12 from Sonoma, Sears Point. You can watch that today in 10 hours. So, great racing. And in my opinion, this is the pinnacle or premier IndyCar racing series that I know of. So, if you want to watch those guys going at it, you can find them running at Sonoma this evening, 10 hours from now. Wreckfest, one of my favorite passions is playing some Wreckfest. I haven't done it in a little while, but apparently they have a new hot fix, so this isn't a big update. They do, in this write-up, talk about some of the things that are coming. As you currently know, they're currently hard at work on console versions of the game, but everyone is also looking for new content. And yes, indeed, we're working on new cars and tracks too. It'll still be some time before we're ready to show anything, but rest assured, there's a lot of exciting new stuff in the pipeline. Stay tuned for more news. So, it seems like Wreckfest, maybe it wasn't a huge big deal when they came out of All Access into a launch title. But they are hard at work and expanding that at a good pace. And they have a hot fix of some of the things that were going on that were problems for the game as of this point in time. Another article, a Eurogamer, talking about how Amazon has been busy making an episodic Grand Tour racing game. I've seen this story all over the place. I meant to cover it yesterday. It was sent in to me by a pit crew member. But yeah, apparently there's a Grand Tour game that's going to feature, and this is coming out of Amazon. Amazon Game Studios. Look at that. And this is the official Grand Tour game. It's going to have Jeremy Clarkson doing some audio and being part of the game. I don't know about the other characters, but I do know Hammond and May. But I do know we have some screenshots here of what it's going to look like. Some of the iconic cars that you would know from Top Gear, or World Grand Tour, I should say. I remember that was episode 1, wasn't it? With that Porsche and the red, white, and red and white Porsche, if I'm not mistaken. So there will be some things, people who've been fans of the show or the franchise and the new version, the Grand Tour. This game is specific to that. So again, Grand Tour, not Top Gear. Grand Tour lets you follow in the footsteps and tire tracks of Grand Tour hosts Jeremy Clarkson, James May, and Richard Hammond. I can't wait to see what they look like in-game. Good point. 4-player split screen it's going to feature. So that shot we are seeing is literally 4-player split screen going on. Dan says it's not going to be very good. What are we talking about here? Is this what we're talking about? You guys' story behind? I think we're talking the same thing. I think we're on the top. Same thing. This made me laugh, so I'm going to show you, but I'm not going to dwell on it. gertlushgaming.co.uk talking about Chicky Boxy Racers. Speeds on to Switch this month. Chicky Box Racers. So now I have this one right. I made a mistake when I talked about RC Pro-Am, and I called it a top-down. And it was not. It was somebody else. Somebody gave you the word for that 3/4 60-degree angle. It's not a top-down. It's an angled view. But anyway, Chicky Boxy Racers coming to the Switch. Just made me laugh. That's why I'm covering that today. What else? We got a couple more things, and we're going to be done. Cheat Code Central, I should say. Dispatches.cheatcc.com questions whether Twitch should be selling games. So we talked about how Steam was going to lose that hold on being that online distributor of content and games, and that they're going to have a lot of challengers. We saw Amazon games, with the Grand Tour game. Isometric, thank you guys. Isometric Devin, Isometric Menace, Isometric Billy Strange. Thank you all very much for that. So anyway, this article is really questioning, should Twitch, you think about the future and where we're going to be. Stajanovsky, Isometric, you are awkward view. Thank you, Star Fox. Anyway, they're questioning whether Twitch should be getting into that business. I think about other platforms that might or could or maybe getting into it. Will Discord start becoming one of those online platforms where you can purchase content? But again, Steam's going to have a lot of competition in the next couple of years and lose a big market share of what they've really had locked up for a long time. One of the things, Gamescom, Full Throttle talking about, I mentioned it yesterday, but I just like that picture. That's a great looking picture of the Ford Raptor. Ford Raptor is going to be featured. They actually, look at this, we have one that's being unveiled apparently at the thing. I saw another article talking about how very little Microsoft showed up to Gamescom with, and leaning heavily on the back of Forza Horizon 4. They had the McLaren there again, and of course the Raptor. But look at how much, I see another car under a cloth over there as well. So more of that coming up to us from Gamescom. Gamescom, Forza Horizon 4, also at Full Throttle, reveals spectacular new Gamescom screenshot. So we are getting some screenshots out of Full Throttle that was delivered to the media, I'm assuming, at Gamescom. Obviously, I'm not there. But this is some of the stuff. Oh, there's your pink shirt graphic. Cool. Ooh, tuner-looking car. That's a right-hand drive. Jaguar? What's that? That's a Jaguar. That's a V12 Jaguar. Anyone? What do I see? I see right-hand drive, so it only means certain regions. I see a convertible. I see a giant front end with a tilt-forward hood. And I see 6 cylinders on this side of what is a dual overhead cam motor, if I'm not mistaken. So that is a 12-cylinder dual overhead cam motor. Someone with more car knowledge than me, correct me, but that's my guess. Another article here. This is at blastawaythegamerreview.com. That's a long title. Blastawaythegamerreview.com. Amazon officially acts as ad-free viewing on Twitch and Prime discounts on game. And I actually heard about streamers canceling ads on Twitch in protest of what's going on. So this is when Google bought YouTube, Anybody who's been around long enough to remember what it was like being a streamer or a content provider on YouTube pre and post Google. But when it was YouTube, you felt like kind of part of the family. When it became Google, you felt more like being part of a client. I think with Twitch, a lot of people feel part of the Twitch family. Amazon came in, some good, some bad, things like that. Rick Hyde says straight 6. You don't see, I think I see another set of pipes. I envision this being an overhead cam and that being an overhead cam, and therefore a straight 12. No, a V12, if I'm not mistaken. Anyway, so yeah, Amazon, you know, is taking over. And will you start to feel like a client instead of a partner or family to Twitch? So that's what they're talking about there. PC Gamer talking about the best full tower case. When you have a lot of parts, it's time to go big or go home. So they're featuring the Cooler Master Cosmos C700P as the top big case. I have a level 10 GT that I like a lot as far as big cases go. Makes for a very heavy computer though. True Achievements talking about Grip Live stream takes parkour to the next level. So they just used a word that pretty much ruled me out from really having much desire to do grip combat racing. If somehow they've found a way to mix parkour and... Why is this not playing? If they found a way to mix parkour and driving and military, they've lost me. So there you go. But if you have interest in a gamey driving game, you can find out about that at True Achievements. True Achievements also talking about V-Rally 4. Cars Showroom opens up again for more V-Rally cars. So some more stuff going on. It releases September 6th. Excuse me, a little hiccup action going on. Dave, I just can't keep it short. We're at 22 minutes. I think I'm almost to the end. We will be under 30 today, but you're right. I am a long-winded guy. I like talking about stuff. What can I say? Yeah, strung out. You know, you really gotta. But ads make the world go round. That's how you make big money. All right. eSport.MotoGP.com talking about the motorsport, the MotoGP eSport Championship, the season so far, because it got underway. You know, they announced this. I think it was underway less than a month after the announcement. But the next chapter, as they put it, will be written on Friday, September 7th, as the gamers take on, I love that word, in gamers, take on Misano World Circuit. Marco Simoncelli live broadcast 1830. That's +2 GMT on that day. So if you want to watch it or play in it, that's when you're going to get down there and do it. That's chapter 2 as they begin. And it looks like beginning, yeah, July 18th is when it all kicked off. For you OSW people, OSW drivers, people didn't sound right. All you OSW fans out there, you might want to know, and SimRacingWorld.info had the story on it, but SimuCube V 0.11.0 has been released. So there is an update out there to help you out with your OSWs, and you can go to your provider, wherever you got your OSW, should have the latest, greatest software. So you might want to check that out and let us know if the update is good, bad, or ugly. World's first eSport racing hub launched in London. I mentioned this already, so it's just in the news again. This is that Team Veloce purpose-built studio for preparing for eSport racing hub. They're going to be doing various things. I've covered it before, but if you want to hear about it or you missed that story, you'll actually find it, of all places, globalbankingandfinance.com. I mean, talk about eSport. I mean, and now we're talking motorsport eSport. Look, he looks like he has a little mini midge with a Ferrari rim converted to it. That's what I see there. I see the adapter I used on the OSW. That looks like a little mini direct drive wheel, if I'm not mistaken. What else we got? Millennial eSports, I believe, aren't those the people behind the ESPN footage of the McLaren thing that we've been talking about for days? Anyway, they're going to release Gear.Club Unlimited 2 exclusively on Nintendo Switch. No pictures here. I don't really like... I'm like a child. I need pictures in my story or I'm not entertained. But if you want to read a long-winded, dry with no pictures or video article, you're going to find that at marketwatch.com under press releases Millennial eSport to release Gear Club Unlimited 2. Motorsport Network fuels eSport plans with 704 investment. So 704 is the group behind NASCAR Heat. So as we are waiting on the next generation of that sim, they are getting funding and inclusion. Oh, Doug Hawley. Look at that. We're going to bring that up. Doug Hawley just sent me a photo. And there is the Jaguar V12. What a beauty. That one is that in a Jag? Is the second one in the Jag? Yeah, that looks like a Jag as well. It's amazing to see ones like this because any of you are Chevy guys actually are well aware of a book called Jags That Run, and it's all about how to put a Chevy V8 into a old Jaguar. But some more images of the Jaguar V12. You can see how nicely they did that, though. Do I need to go back to that and take another look? Because they did a nice job. Where was that? Where was that? Oh, I'm not going to be able to find it properly. All right, forget it. But that was the Jaguar motor officially. Yeah, the Jaguar from Austin Powers. Dave Blair was all over that. We talked about this. So again, we can expect to see eSport with NASCAR Heat, which we haven't really talked about prior to that. Straight 6? No, that car was known for a V12, wasn't it? All right, now we have to do research. Now somebody has to get... Oh, it is a 6. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Doug corrected me. It's a 6. Thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you, everybody. I stand corrected. Okay. What else? Extreme Tech. Don't buy the ray traced hype around the NVIDIA RTX 2080. So everybody's been staying on the forefront. There, you know, the RTX brings certain features, this ray tracing, and it's a certain way of, if I'm not mistaken, it's a certain way of doing like shadowing and buffering. It's like the speed that the GPU talks to the memory, way over my head, so I could be speaking gibberish here. But if you want to know what it really does and doesn't do, here's an article at Extreme Tech. So if that's the reason that you're actually going for the RTX is to take advantage of this new ray tracing, it may not be all that it is. And I think it's also one of those things that they need to build it, and then the game companies need to optimize it. You know, we always have this back and forth where games are pushing hardware, and then hardware opens up the door for software to go to the next step and next level. It was available with the V12, says Rick. Who knows? Who knows? It's an old car. I love those Jags. They're beautiful. Oh, here, Doug sent me another picture. Thank you, Doug. But that's a more modern, that's a newer Jag. That's not the old front lifting. That looks like a standard hood. Am I mistaken? And is that a modified to be a 12? I love our side topics, by the way. I hope you guys don't mind. Knowledgeable gibberish. Thank you, Tim. He says that sounded like knowledgeable gibberish. Nope, and that does take me to the end of the show. I can't believe it. We made 30 minutes. That is the actual 12. There you go. But anyway, if I could find that, this all goes back to not me being right or wrong about 6 or 12, but it goes back to that image that we saw of the in-the-hood shot of the Jaguar in the game and how awesome it looked. And if you looked at those other 6 cylinders that I pulled up, it was even better. So anyway, that is going to do it for today's show. That's all the sim racing news that I've got. I do want to thank Kelly Bronstater for chiming in from Virginia, and we've added him to the map. And of course, if you don't see yourself on the map, be sure to email me, Sean, SHAUN, at thesimpit.com. Let me know where you're watching from, and we'll add you to the map as part of the pit crew as well. Thank you guys. Thank you all for being here. Happy hump day. Happy middle of the week. We are working for the weekend now. This is the Sim Pit. I'm Sean Cole, and I'll see you on the track.